Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of me driving to work. I am your host slash chauffeur, Darkness 30XX of the Black Hood Crew, named down there in the corner. By all means, like, subscribe, follow along at the Black Hood Crew on YouTube and Facebook, Black Hood Crew groups, um, Twitter, Twitch, Steam, named there in the corner. Follow along. Same name on TikTok. Follow along there as well. I post dumb stuff there regularly ish. Wow, that person almost backed into them. That would not have been fun. So it is now Tuesday. What's today's date? January 4th. Nuts, big hole. It's January 4th. We are 4 days into 2022. And I mean, stuff's happening. I don't know if it can be categorized as good, bad, whatever. But I mean, just look around you. I just read earlier today that the United States of America, that's just the United States, passed 1 million new cases just yesterday. 1 million new cases of COVID just yesterday. I left my hairband. Great. Oh, yeah. There we go. 1 million new cases of COVID. We're starting to see that in the hospitals. Well, not even starting. We've been seeing that in the hospitals for weeks, almost a month now. Yeah, we're just seeing an absolute increase in the amount of people coming in suffering from 1, 2, 5 symptoms of this virus. What the hell? Where did that person come from? Whatever. Yeah, we're starting to see massive increases in the amount of people coming in suffering from XYZ condition. It's gotten to the point that I was informed as of, I think it was either Sunday or yesterday, that it is now up to the discretion of the doctors, specifically the doctors, on who gets tested for the virus. So, if you are coming in for, say, a couple symptoms, let's say you got fever, you got cough, whatever, right? You got a couple symptoms, and the doctor feels that based on your symptoms as a whole, that you warrant being tested, they will test. However, if you come in with, say, a more ambiguous list of symptoms, but then throw in, say, at the end of your list of complaints, that you have a fever, a cough, sore throat, runny nose, whatever, or you just tack on, I want to be tested, the doctor's going to look you right in the eye and go, no, not going to happen. They're not going to test you at all. Yeah, and I think it's rightfully so. Specifically when you have people coming in who are asymptomatic or have a more ambiguous list of symptoms, may not even be COVID related, but then are absolutely demanding that they need to be tested. Had a gentleman come in yesterday, right? Was it yesterday or the day before? It was the day before. Sunday, I believe it was. Um, Gentleman outside came with his girlfriend, wife, significant other, whatever they were. And the significant other had a host of symptoms related to COVID-19. When this dude was being registered, it was found out that he was tested only a week ago, a week prior. Off the bat, that's an instant denial. Like, not going to test. Simple as that. But then he wanted to complain that it was to go back to work. I'm like, okay, perfectly fine. Still not going to get tested though. But you can by all means go to a free testing center. My hospital in particular has provided a very nice looking list of all the testing sites in South Broward, the days and times that they are open and available for testing purposes. The thing is, I was the one that originally gave them that list. I specifically looked for it, printed it out. It ended up being one sheet of paper, front and back, two sides. But it was a pretty comprehensive list of all the testing centers. So all it was basically take my idea and just hit it with a little bit of flair and turn it into something that was pretty. What they have failed to do is that we are getting a lot of people from Miami-Dade County. Now, Miami-Dade is absolutely ginormous and encompasses many cities. It's not just the city of Miami, but various sub-cities as part of the county. In fact, the city of Miami got so big that they took over the county. That's why it's now called Miami-Dade County and no longer just Dade County. The city got that big. So they have a lot of sub-cities, towns that are incorporated into the city. Now, because of this, there are a lot of people that live in Miami-Dade. Myself included, but that's besides the point. However, we're getting a lot more people from Miami-Dade coming up into Broward and hitting up the hospitals in Broward to be seen. And this is not just for COVID, but for literally anything. I've had people come all the way from Homestead. Now, if you live in Miami-Dade, you know Homestead is pretty much the equivalent of Mars to us, to Earth. At least for people that live in Miami-Dade. It's an unnecessarily long trip. If you ever wonder where people, where all the orange groves in Miami are, that's where they are. They're all in flippin' Homestead. So, we're getting people from all the way down there as well as everywhere in between to come to specifically our hospital system because it is in South Broward. And coming in for a host of things. Now, because of COVID, we're getting a lot of people from Miami-Dade that are coming in to be tested or showing up with symptoms and whatnot. Now, the problem is, and this is where I am thoroughly ticked off, is that there are twice as many hospitals in Miami-Dade as there are in Broward County, as well as the overabundance of testing facilities, specifically speaking about COVID-19 in Miami-Dade County. There's 3 times as many testing sites in Miami-Dade as there are in Broward County. Where I live in particular, there are at least five five testing areas, places you can drive to be tested for the virus. Five of them within 2 minutes of my house. Some are within walking distance. I can literally walk out of my house, not even get in my car, literally walk, take a couple corners, and I'll be at a testing facility. And by facility, I mean like basically a tent where they take your sample, send it off, and you'll get an email, text message, maybe even a phone call letting you know you're positive or negative. Which, for a lot of people, that's really all they need. Whether it's to get back to work, go on a trip, or for a lot of people this time of year, go home, back to their home state or even home country. I once again will reiterate, do not come to an emergency room looking to be tested for COVID-19. It is up to the doctors at their discretion is if you will be tested or not. That's one. Two, even then, you have to be showing symptoms to even get an inclination from them to be tested. And three, you have multiple people, including the governor, as much of a scumbag as he is, telling you not to go to the hospitals to be tested. You will be turned away. You are more likely to be turned away at the door if you are there to be tested for COVID-19 at a hospital versus anywhere else. Don't do it. I personally have had to turn people away, look them dead in the eye and say they will not test you. Symptoms, no symptoms, they will not test you. Because again, it is up to the doctors. Some doctors are a little bit more liberal. They'll say, you know what, we'll go ahead and test them. Others, they're more conservative. No, 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 no. So, as it stands right now, if you want to be tested just for testing's sakes, go to a free testing facility. If you can't find one in Broward County, this is for the people living in Broward. If you cannot find one in Broward County or in your particular county that is open during a particular time when you are available to go, because I understand people have to work, people have things that they got to do during the day, and that's perfectly fine. However, the lists of these locations are readily available online, easily searchable. Google is your friend. Your county website is definitely the first place to start. And this is not just for Florida, this is for every county in the United States of America. Go to your county's website, find the list. If you cannot find one within a relatively short distance of where you live or work, depending on when you want to go get tested, with hours that are accommodating you, find a list for a neighboring county. Because I'm almost 100% sure larger counties have more testing centers, just based on overall size of the county, more testing centers in larger counties. But the added caveat is that a lot more of those testing facilities have longer hours. Instead of seeing something 9 to 5, 8 to 4, You'll see 7 to 7, 8 to 8. You might even find some that are open 24 hours. So that's definitely an option, because I tell you, Broward County here in South Florida does not have a single free testing facility that is open 24 hours. Miami-Dade has a whole bunch of them. So if all you do is some sort of proof showing that you are positive or negative, and that's all you're looking for, go to Miami-Dade. If you're in another state or another part of this state, check your county websites. There are lists upon lists upon lists of free testing centers. And by free, I mean 100% free. The only thing that these places ask for is some basic demographics as well as basic contact information, for the sole purpose of telling you when the results are ready whether you are positive or negative for COVID-19. It's not that hard. It's very simple. Find a testing facility. They are 100% free. They do not ask for insurance. They do not ask for any form of payment because they are free. Hospitals are not free. If you come in just to be tested and you just happen to find that perfect time of day when you got the right doctor with the right staff who just said, test them. Even without symptoms, even without anything, just test them. It will not be free. And I'm going to do the breakdown for you. So you may be asking why you can go to a tent on the corner somewhere, sometimes at places of religious congregation, like a church, mosque, that they do not ask for payment there. And it's simple, because the test itself, the actual testing kit, is free. It is free on behalf of the United States government. The government has made these tests available for free to those that want to be tested. However, when you come to a hospital, specifically an emergency room, to be tested, although the test itself is free and you will not be charged for it, in any hospital system, you will not be charged for the actual testing kit. The use of the time, the facilities, and staff at the hospital is not free. That is not free. Whether you have insurance or not, it is not free to be tested in the emergency room. It's just not free. So, do you want to be charged for a free test, or would you rather not spend any money and get the same results? Because not for nothing, getting tested alone will not change your situation, other than it'll make you aware of your condition. That's it. People think coming to an emergency room to be tested is going to help alleviate their symptoms, alleviate what ails them. And I know because I've had people tell me this. personally tell me this to my face, that even without symptoms, they think as some sort of weird thought process that being tested is going to automatically make them feel better. It's not. Not now, not later, not ever. The only thing testing will do is make you aware of your condition. That's it. It will serve no other purpose. Now, with that proof, you can, go back to work if you're negative, fly if you're negative, or be mindful of the fact that you should maybe stay home in quarantine instead of going out if you're positive. But testing alone will not help in any medical way. Instead, you can do what, say, someone like myself, who actively avoids the emergency room patient, even though I'm working. I refuse to go in emergency room. I just refuse to go. I would have to be knocking on death's door to have to go to an emergency room. I would have to be coughing up blood, actively bleeding, or missing an appendage of some sort to go to an emergency room. So do not come to the emergency room unless you are actively in the process of having an emergency. For those people that have COVID and you are showing symptoms, it is perfectly okay to self-medicate. Drugstores, pharmacies, these places exist. The products that they have on the shelves, not even over the counter, on the shelves, are more than enough to handle a host of your symptoms that you're suffering from the virus. Now, is it going to take a while for you to get better? Of course. Nothing's overnight. Nothing is overly quick. Even in the emergency room, the hospitals, that's not how that works. It takes time for medication to work. So, if you think that one hit of Benadryl, that one hit of Motrin is enough to do the trick, you are sadly mistaken. Sadly mistaken. You need to be continuously on the medication. I've had people show up in the emergency room the day after they were literally discharged. And they said the medication is not making me feel better. And have to have a medical professional, nurse or a doctor, come out and tell them, did you finish your medication rounds? No. That's why you still feel like crap. Take your medication as prescribed, or as the instructions state, because that's the only way it's going to work. You can't just down some Motrin and hope your body ache is going to go away. You have to continually do it. Instructions for Motrin is every 4 to 6 hours. Tylenol is every 4 hours. For the recommended dosage for your height, weight, age, whatever. A single dosage is not enough. You need to continually take it for it to have the desired effects. The same goes with the COVID. If you are having symptoms, it is perfectly okay to self-medicate. Runny nose, cough, headaches. There's stuff you can take that will directly better those conditions. Will you still have the virus? Obviously, yes. But at least you'll be able to go about your day. You won't have your head pounding, nose running, that cough that just won't go away. At least with the virus, you can quarantine in peace. And that's perfectly all right. 9 times out of 10, when you show up to an emergency room to see a doctor, they are going to basically give you the same stuff that you pick up right off the shelf, some cases over the counter, at Walgreens, CVS, or your local drugstore. They're going to give you the same stuff anyway. So get ahead of that, go yourself, get the product, take it as instructions state, and I promise you, you will not see the inside of an emergency room. That's how that works. I self-medicate all the time. In case I get headaches, I keep this in the car because it helps. And I take it regularly when I'm having a headache or when I'm having some sort of pain. I take it because that's what it's supposed to do. Alleviate that particular symptom of whatever it is I'm suffering from. And this will work for everybody. Self-medicate. You'll be okay. And it'll be a lot cheaper too. So on that note, we're going to go ahead and cut it out. I am at work, parked. So you can see I'm wearing my glasses. Put shirt pen. And we'll go ahead and pick this up next week, as the rest of this week I will not be home. Starting tomorrow, I will be off. I will be on a mini vacation as I took Friday off, so I will be out of town. So definitely we will pick this up again next week, Monday. You'll find me here on another episode of me driving to work. Until then, have a great day, stay safe, and be excellent to